Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Thrizwell. Today, I'm going to be discussing my first time doing LSD. Now, this is a disclaimer to everyone which watches this video. I do not promote drug use, I do not recommend drug use, and I don't think you should do drugs, but what you do is your decision, and this video is not to, change your decision on doing drugs and whatnot. So basically, what had happened with my first time doing acid, I actually had no idea what I was getting into. At the time, I had messed with some MDMA and whatnot, and weed and all that, but you got to keep in mind that MDMA and acid, and MDMA, weed, and acid are completely different drugs, and acid is just a complete mindfuck, which I'm going to discuss here. So basically, I had no idea what I was getting into. I was talking to one of my friends online who recommended I should try it, and I thought, it's a Friday night, I'm at home, my dealer's pretty close, so I messaged him, do you have some acid? And he said, yeah, I do. And I'm just like, oh fuck, no shit. So basically I messaged him, asked him how much they were. He claimed they were deep web, 250 UG. For people which don't know, that's like double the standard dose, I think. And I'd gone and picked it up off him, and yeah, it was pretty much easy as that. So I ended up going home and going to my room and waiting for my dad to go to sleep, waiting for my mum to go to sleep. This was about 12 AM, it was fairly late at night. For you guys that don't know, acid lasts 8 hours. So I did in my head, it'll wear off by the time in the morning and I'll just sleep it off, So yeah, basically I had dropped the tab in my room. Now, one thing I highly recommend if you ever decide to do acid is to never do it on your own in your own room. Especially not by yourself, because acid's one of those drugs which makes you overthink, and then you try to stop thinking, which makes you continue overthinking. So basically I dropped this tab, right, and I was sitting on my laptop, I was on Facebook, I was talking to my girlfriend at the time, and I told her I'd just done acid. So she went to bed, and then after that I was like, oh yeah, it was about an hour in, and I only just started feeling like the vibrations and whatnot. I was listening to some music, I think I was listening to I can't remember his name, it's like Floyd something like that. I was listening to some trippy music because my mates made a SoundCloud playlist for me, and he said listen to this when you're tripping. So basically I was just sitting on my laptop, and then all of a sudden, I was doing some schoolwork, I think. Some schoolwork, I think, at the time. I was just looking at my hand. And when you look at your hands, you know how you look at your hands now, you know how it's just like, it looks normal to you. My hands were so interesting to me at the time. Like, they were forming around, I saw little stick figures running along my hands and whatnot. I saw my skin, changing color and, fading in and out. It had, that fade in and out effect. I can't describe it. It's like when you have, for example, if you have an RGB keyboard, it was like a fade in and out effect, except my fingers were fading away and then fading back in. They were going back and forward. So yeah, I was just sitting there and I was looking at my hands and they were really interesting, and I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, I was looking around, and I remember watching a video beforehand on bad trips, and for whatever reason this decided to come up back in my head. Sorry about that. And I was like, what the fuck? And when you start thinking about bad trips is when bad trips start coming on. So I was starting to wig out hard. I was looking around my room and shit. And so I decided, I was passing out because my walls were forming into me. Because at the time I had a very small room. And the walls were forming in, the walls were coming in on me. And I'm just like, fuck. So, and I really need to piss. I don't know why. Every time I do drugs, I really need to piss. And I feel like it's one of the most anxious things to do. So I got up and went to take a piss, right? Because, I thought that was what was causing my bad trip. So I went up to take a piss. And then all of a sudden, I was taking a piss, and then I looked into my window, not my window, my mirror, and I just saw the devil form behind me. When you look at yourself in the mirror on drugs, and it's just so fascinating, and you're just sitting there what the fuck? So yeah, basically I was just looking at myself in a mirror, and I was just passing out because I was a different person. I wasn't myself, I didn't look like myself. I thought I was just a different person. And then I went back into my bed and I was listening to music, and my laptop and phone died. The power went out, and I was like, are you serious? So I was basically sitting there listening to no music, looking around. I'm not sure if you guys know what it is. It's ego death. It's where you forget who you are, forget your name. I forgot how to talk. I forgot who I was. was. I was like passing out hard. So I basically lay there and tried to sleep it off. But I ended up falling asleep, right? But I wasn't actually asleep. I was dreaming, but it was like I was in a nightmare. It was so weird. And at the time I was smoking, so I decided, oh, I'll go out for a ciggy and see if that was better. You know what? That actually did work out well, because I started looking at the trees, the sky and whatnot, and it was just such a beautiful sight. Basically, I can't really describe what I saw, but it was a very difficult experience mentally to handle. Like, the day after, I was just an absolute wreck. I was just feeling like shit. I was like, you know, I got post-LSD depression because of how boring the world looked to me at the time. And it was cool. It was a weird experience, to say the least, guys. Now, I would not recommend doing it unless you're mentally prepared and have someone, you know, there to trips at you and whatnot. If you guys have any questions, like, regarding that, DM me, because I'm all about promoting safe drug use, you know what I mean? Like, I don't recommend doing drugs, but if you're going to do them and need some advice on something, feel free to DM me on Twitter, as my DM's always open. Anyways, guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter and follow me on Twitch to keep up to date with myself and my content. And make sure to drop a like, comment, and sub below. Anyway, guys, it's been your boy 3Smoke. Peace.